When it comes to creating a content plan for your online business, having a clear niche is the first step. We talked about that in the last video in the series. In this video, I want to talk about how to take that niche even further into content categories, or sometimes people call this content buckets. In other words, if you have a topic that you cover, the theme of your videos or the theme of your podcast or your blogs or whatever, if you take that big niche, you want to break it down into 4 or 5 content buckets, which is going to make it that much easier to develop content. We're going to talk about how to do that, why to do that in this video. This is day 16 of Crush It on Kajabi in 90 days. We're doing 90 straight videos all about your online business and how to start it, build it, and grow it using Kajabi. If you haven't jumped onto Kajabi yet, why are you waiting? Go ahead and jump on and see what you think. You can use my link below, lanesebring.com/Kajabi. When you use that link, you get 2 pretty cool things. One, you get a 45-minute Zoom call with me where we're going to talk about your business. We're going to talk about your strategy. I'm going to help you think through a plan, and we're also going to look at Kajabi. I'll share my screen with you if you'd like. I'll walk you through anything you want to learn on Kajabi, anywhere you're stuck, so that you can get started on that platform and be successful as soon as possible. The second thing you're going to get is my $25,000 course launch email template. These are the exact emails and the exact email strategy that I used to launch my first course, which made over $25,000 in the first 3 launches. I'm going to put that in your hands along with the 45-minute Zoom call as a way to say thank you for using my link, because that is an affiliate link. So when you use it, I do get a small commission. So if you appreciate what we're doing here at this channel and you want those 2 cool perks, and you're gonna try out Kajabi anyway, then use my link. That'd be awesome. So let's get into this. As I coach online business owners, one of the things they tell me is that it's hard to come up with content ideas. This is usually in response to me saying, hey, if you're gonna do an online business that's content driven, you've gotta show up at least once a week with a new, fresh, helpful piece of content, whether it's on YouTube or your podcast or your blog post or all 3, all the above. We'll get into that in another video, but you need to show up at least once a week to stay top of mind and to continue to drive traffic to your email list through your lead magnet. The whole thing is based and built on that. So that begs the question, well, how do I come up with content? How do I come up with at least 52 pieces of content per year? The method that I use is one that I learned from Graham Cochran, and that is to take your big niche, your big category that might be very narrow on its own. We talked about that last video, but take that niche and break it down into 4 or 5 distinct categories. And we're gonna call them content buckets. For me, if I think about Preaching Donkey, I have one big category, and that's preaching. But then my content buckets, I have 4 of them, and they are sermon prep or sermon preparation, sermon delivery, church leadership, and lessons for pastors. Those are the 4 types of content that I make. So every week when I sit down to make a new piece of content for Preaching Donkey, I'm gonna pull from one of those 4 categories: sermon prep, sermon delivery, church leadership, or lessons for pastors. So here's what I suggest doing. Break it down into 4 or 5 categories, and then spend some time listing out at least 10 possible content ideas for each category. So for me, I would go, okay, what are 10 things that I can say, 10 videos that I can make about sermon prep? And I won't stop until I've got at least 10 ideas. And then for each one of those, I'm gonna jot down 2 or 3 bullets just to give myself some quick notes so that when I go back to it, I have that reference. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for sermon delivery. I'm gonna think of 10 things that I can say about that. And once I've done all of those, I've got 40 pieces of content ideas. I do the same thing here at Lane Sebring. This brand is quite a bit newer, so I'm still a little bit in my experimentation phase as far as exactly what my content categories are, but it tends to be passive income and passive income ideas, online business and online business tactics and strategies, and Kajabi. Those are the 3 main pieces of content that I make, with the 4th one being product reviews that relate to online business and media. What this is gonna do for you is it's gonna make it way easier to sit down week after week after week and create content, because you're not gonna be going to the drawing board every time trying to come up with an idea the last last minute. I suggest using a Google spreadsheet. They're free, it's super easy to do. What I do is I have a sheet for the category, I put in the tentative title, and I fill in a few notes, and I've got it all right there. So when it's time to sit down and make a piece of content, I just pull out my spreadsheet, I look at it, I pick the one that sticks out to me for that day from that content bucket, and I make that content. Easy peasy. So since you have your niche, go ahead and make those content buckets and fill in at least 10 ideas per category. At this point, as far as next steps, if you're ready to jump into Kajabi, be sure to do it using my link below, lanesebring.com/Kajabi. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss any videos in this series. Leave me a question in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them as a part of what we're doing in the series. We got 90 videos. There's a lot of content. So if you ask a question, I'm probably gonna work it into my content. And if you wanna explore further about Kajabi, you can check out this playlist right here, where we'll go in depth on everything you need to know to see how it can help you reach your online business goals, or just stick around for the next video in this playlist.